Hey, so I am going to share with you how to collect a point using ESRI's Field Map apps, which will be replacing Collector. Um, so in the previous video, I downloaded my offline map to include just the area where I'd be doing data collection. Before I open Field Maps, I want to check to make sure that I am connected to my bad elf by checking this connection. And yes, I am. I'm connected to 12 satellites out of the 16 that are available. My horizontal accuracy is 2.48 feet, which is great. So now I'm going to open Field Maps and open up my downloaded maps, because if you notice before, now it says what's on your device, and this is the only thing that I have on my device. So we'll open this up, and it took the boundary of my map that I did download. But now I'm going to do something, since I have the satellites, since I have the bad elf, I'm going to kind of hone in on my location just by selecting the arrow. And this is telling you that north is straight. Alright, there have been some points already collected. I want to delete those. Delete this point. I'm going to delete this point as well. Now obviously, hopefully in your map there won't be any points until you've started your data collection. Okay, so just a couple of little notes here. So like if you zoom way out, and I'm using my fingers to get, then you click the upper right hand corner arrow, it should zoom you in and on your location. Now I'm not going to be collecting all of the features that are in my map layer, so I'm just going to turn some of this off because it's just confusing. Like, I know I won't be collecting water meters, no curb stops, I'm not near any storage tanks, so I'm turning that off, or wells. So this looks good. I think I'll just leave that there. And if you select the three dots, once you've downloaded your map, you cannot change the base map, so you are stuck with that. And these are just some of the features that are available within Field Map. You know, you can share it, you can show your legends. So these are some cool little features. So to begin data collection, I'm going to select the blue circle with a plus on it. Now I'm going to zoom in because I want to show you where a little bit higher location, and I'm going to select a fire hydrant. The manufacturer, this is an American hydrant. There is a date stamped on the hydrant of 1999, so I want as much information that I can get from this. I'm sorry, that's 2019. Now, I want you to note here that while 2019 is a manufacturer year, that's not the date it was installed necessarily. And I just happen to know that this hydrant is newly installed, and I want to say it was like April 21st. So I'm just going to say yes. And then you see how I clicked out of that to accept that date. And the condition of this is good. And the ports is a double with a steamer. The size on this is a 5 1/4. And this is just information that I'm observing from the field. So I want to take some photos now. And I want to get some photos that are representative of what this fire hydrant looks like in the field. In relation to street or homes, curbs, etc. I'm going to take another photo and some interesting information here is that this is telling me which way to open this by this arrow here. So, and that's important information. I'm going to use this photo. I'm going to take one from the front of the hydrant. Sometimes the newer hydrants have QR codes, and if you run across a hydrant that does have a QR code, please do take that, because we can scan it and get some good information. Now, on the back of this, you can see there is some more useful information. So I'm going to take this, and this, I'm going to say add point and submit. Now, before I move, see, it doesn't look like the hydrant's there, so I'm actually going to pick my bad elf up and walk away from that just to ensure. And you can see that the hydrant is there. We've had cases where the point's been taken, assumably, and when you get back out of the field, you notice, oh, the point's really not there. So I've placed my bad elf onto a valve, which is fire hydrant valve. I'm going to select the blue circle and select valve distribution. Real quick on this, with our new workflow, I've broken the hydrant valves out into its own feature class. So now you should see in your newer maps, there will be a distribution valve for hydrants, and there will be just your distribution valve. If you're working in an older map, then on the distribution valve feature class, I asked the question of whether or not it's a hydrant valve or not. So I'm using an old one, and so I'm going to answer that question. Yes, it is a hydrant. I don't know the manufacturer. I do know the size, because all fire hydrant leads are 6 inches. I don't know the condition of that valve just by looking at the valve box. I want to take a photo, and I don't want to take a photo of just this because it's really not giving me that much great information. I can't put it in relation to anything. So I'm just going to take this photo and going to update this point and submit it. And again, I'm going to verify that my point is there just by picking the bad elf up and walking away from it. And you can definitely see that it is there. So I'm going to close out of that to be flush before I accidentally delete it. Now I'll see another valve that's in the middle of the road. Comes a car, so I'm not going to get that point at this present moment, but I will. And I'm holding the bad elf horizontally in my hand as I'm going from point to point, because if you throw it down and by the strap and just kind of carry it, then it's going to lose its satellite placement. So here we go. You can see it's moving with me. I'm placing it on top of a valve. This is not a hydrant valve, and I don't know what size this is. I'm going to take a photo, and I'm going to take it in relation to where it is to the street, in the street, to like a curb or a house. Use this photo. Update the point. I think what this is doing is reading my old point for some reason. because that should say add point, not update point. So I'm walking away. I've picked up the bat off to make sure that it did capture that valve, and it did. And that's it for data collection in the field. The most important thing is, before you walk away from the feature, to verify that it is on your map before you walk away from it. Collect as many attributes as you can while you're out in the field, and be safe.